Robert Moore's head coach Bernard Clark. His team is coming off a 43-24 loss at Bryant. This week is a bye week before closing out the season with four consecutive association games. Coach, some thoughts on your team, and then we'll get some questions.
Well, the thoughts are this is a much needed bye week. There's no doubt about it. Bryant's an outstanding football team. They did a great job, in winning that game. But also the thing that hindered us is we're down three offensive linemen. We had starting center didn't play. Our starting left tackle didn't play. So we had to put another tackle over there. We had to move the offensive line around. And during the course of the game, we lost both our safeties. So we're down to two redshirt freshmen at the safety position. And so it's a situation we're also going to go without our starting wide receiver, Noah Robinson, who was trying to make a great play on punt. And he goes down. He thought the guy was going to drop it. He didn't drop it. He hits him in his head. Now he's targeting, so we got to miss him. He'll be missing the first half of the next game. So we're going through some things right now, some changes, because when those things happen, you have to try to make adjustments on the fly. When you're playing against a good team like Bryant and you're trying to make those adjustments on the fly, it hinders you a little bit. And on top of that, we had 4 turnovers. When you have things like that happen, you're having those things, you have self-inflicted wounds, and you have a great football team that's coming after you, it's kind of hard to win a football game. But we're doing the best we can to regroup and recover. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just giving you the reasons behind some of the mishaps that we're having along the way right now.
Okay. Coach, you had mentioned a little bit of the hole that you guys fell into a little bit against Bryant, but what to say about your team, being down 22 points and then fighting back and putting up 24 of your own to try and get back into the ballgame?
Well, that's the thing we've been doing all year, to be honest with you, Jose. Our guys have, been busting their behinds to stay in football games. We did it last week against Gardner-Webb. The unfortunate part, we haven't been able to put 4 quarters together. And that's the thing that's hurting us. We're playing a good quarter here, a good quarter there. We're stopping them at certain times. We're holding on. At one time, I think they get the ball to +8. We end up keeping them from getting in the end zone on Saturday. So we're doing the things we need to do to have a productive football team. We're just not doing it 4 complete quarters. And we're getting injuries here, and we're getting mishaps here, and we're not winning the field position when it comes to special teams. That's the thing I think that's really hurting us when it comes to special teams. Because of the injuries that we have and a little nicks, we have to switch up our special teams. And that probably hurts you more than anything else because you're dealing with offense and defense when you're talking about special teams. So you're losing some key elements when it comes to that. So we got to make adjustments as coaches to make sure our special teams are putting us in the right position in order to make those plays, but we can't have mishaps because we have so many depleted areas on our football team.
I know that you focus on each game week by week, but when you're going into the season, you'd like to have a progression of where your team heads to and what you want to make it to. Where do you feel that you are? Do you feel you're ahead of schedule? Do you feel on pace for that? Or what are some of the things you'd like to see improve at this point of the season for you?
Well, the thing that we're off pace with is obviously our record. Let's start with that. But the other thing is exactly what you just said. We expected certain things to happen along the way, and those injuries have put us in a bad state of affairs. Let's just start with the Air Force game. You and I was talking about Colorado Springs before we got on the air. In the Air Force, we lose our starting quarterback. Now, the backup has done a good job. He's won 2 games for us. He's done a good job there. We lose our starting right guard, who's been a starter for us ever since he was a true freshman. We lose our starting middle linebacker. He breaks his hand. He can't play for another 2 weeks. We lose one of our reserve safeties at the time who's playing a lot of minutes for us. He breaks his leg. So when you start out that, now the next week you come in, and now you lose in practice, you lose your starting defensive end because of an injury, because of a Liz Frank injury. So all those things, you're trying to figure out the adjustments you need to make in order to put the guys on the field that you feel are going to be at the gun, because those are the guys that have been starting for you. So you're trying to get guys where you need to have them at. So that's where we're off kiddo a little bit. But at the same time, we do have to recognize that we got to do what makes those guys that are out there now successful. They may not be able to do all the things that the starter did, but we got to put them in position to be successful football players. As coaches, that's our job, to make sure we're putting them in position to be successful. So as far as where we are right now at that point, this is, like I said, this is a great week for a bye week because we've got to make those adjustments with those guys we have out there now because of the young guys at safety, because of the 3 different deep offensive linemen, because we may get some guys back now that we can go back and doing some of the things we did before. So our adjustments need to be made because of the injuries that we've had.
Okay. DJ Moyer had a team high 60 yards rushing this last week. No negative losses on that. You talked about some injuries up front as well, but can you talk a little bit about his play as well as the offensive line for kind of showing some positivity in that aspect?
There's no doubt. I mean, we've been trying to get the running game going all year long. So to get over 100 yards, rushing was real good. And for DJ to get those 60 yards, even with the depleted offensive head, but that's also a credit to our coaches understanding that the guys that are out there, this is what we have to do in order for those guys to be successful. These are some of the things we have to change up. So DJ is a nice ray of light that we've had that's come along here in the last couple of games, has done a great job. And it's attributed to what he's able to see in his vision on the field, but also our O-line and our coaches putting guys in the right position. So I'm really pleased with that. Just like you said, as a staff, we're pleased with the fact that we have a running back we feel like is breaking out a little bit, because those are things we've been looking for. Cyrus has done a good job. Cyrus Bonsu, he's done a good job, because Cyrus is that guy, if you need 3 yards, he's going to get you those 3 yards. The crazy thing about it, I've said it before, if you need 10, Cyrus is going to get you those 3. So you got to make sure, he's doing, but he knows his role. He knows what we're looking for him, and he busts his behind to do those things. But DJ's a nice little ray of light that we have right now.
Okay, Coach. I just want to ask you real quick. What is it going to feel like to finally get your first conference home games for this season?
It's going to feel good. I mean, the fact we have a team coming in here that that we feel good about as a great football team, but we feel good about as coaches. We feel good about the fact that we have a conference game at home right now. And unfortunately, we haven't been real good on the road. So it's going to feel good to get a conference team in here. We haven't won on the road since October 19th, 2019. So it feels like 1919, but it was 2019. So it's been a while since we won on the road. So to get a conference game here and try to get our feet wet and get those things working out on the road when we started going on the road after that, and then we got another 2 more conference games at home. But we feel good about having those guys here and being able to have them here at Joe Walton Stadium.
All right, terrific. Thank you, Coach. I truly appreciate it. I wish you the best during the bye week and hope everyone gets healthy, and good luck to you in the following week.
Sounds good, Jose. I appreciate you, and let's go, Bobby Moe.